Live. I'm Tamara Neo. Thank you for joining me here today. Please take a moment and subscribe to the channel. Take a moment and hit the little notification bell and it'll notify you every time I put a video up. And I'm going to have several videos coming up very soon. I have just returned from a trip to Japan, and the word I'm using is transformational. I had never been to Japan. I've been to South Korea, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Singapore, never been to Japan. Can't wait to go back. I have never been in so many large cities and felt completely safe at crazy hours of the night. So Japan is high on my list, might even be number one. We'll see. Tonight I have a video on food. I tried to make one video just on food because I have videos of other things coming up. I couldn't make just one video on food. You'd have been here an hour. So this is just the first one. This one is more focused on street food, cafe food. When we first arrived in Tokyo, I was out on that street at night within the first hour of arriving. They are such a social culture. The whole concept that they are all locked in and staying online and video gaming, balderdash. That is an extremely social culture. After about 5 o'clock, those city lights turn on and everybody comes out. The rows of cafes, just one little cafe after the next, down every little alley, every little streetway. And, you know, the cafes are small. 8 people, 10 people, maybe 20 people for some of the bigger ones. Just bursting with people and fresh food being made and just socializing. It was great. So the concept that they are isolated, no, that's an extremely social culture. Really, really fun. And very welcoming. I had a great time, even though my language was obviously limited. There's no more fear in travel at all. And I'm going to do a video on it, but very quickly, your phone will translate any language on the fly, verbally, orally. It will also, through the camera, you can hold your camera up to any sign and it'll turn that sign to English. Any language, any sign. It was fantastic. Between those two and then Google Maps and putting a pin where your hotel is, go get lost for the day. Go get lost in any major city. Just wander around. And when it's time to come home, you got a map directly back to your home or your hotel or wherever you're meeting. So there's zero fear. It was very different 20 years ago when Mr. Neo and I strapped on baby Io when she was 3 months old and went to Bulgaria. We had started in France and Sweden and Denmark, and between his language skills and my language skills, we were fine. Bulgaria, I didn't realize that the alphabet was Cyrillic. No exposure to a Cyrillic alphabet. Arrived, understood nothing. And in Bulgaria, this means no. And this means yes. So we spent days learning just how to say hello and thank you. Blagodaria, dobre den. Blagodaria, dobre den. Anyways, there's no more fear. Strap that baby on, bring your phone, bring a backup battery, and go. I plan on it. So, all right, let's start with food. So again, this is Tokyo, or just outside of it. And this is the very first night, and then the remaining days that we were there. I think there's actually a few scenes from Osaka too, because the street food scene in Osaka was just off the hook. Okay, so let me get this started. One of those little cafes. They do still have the barriers up in some of them, but it's still very social. More than one place I saw people sort of talking around those barriers. Sushi, fresh sushi, right out of the gate, first place I went. That salad is a lotus root salad. Gotta find it. Obviously, I appreciated the sushi. Not a big fan of the tofu, the little yellow block. And then you just got on the street and you're just everywhere you look. Amazing food. Any numbers you see, divide them by about 76. And that comes close to what that translates into. So this was one of our hosts, one of our guides. He was a doll. It was 3 years.
How is it?
Most
Worth the
fun to go
wait
out
in
to
the
street
cold?
with, man, he was as into it as I was. Again, everywhere I went, just one example after the next, fresh smells, sounds. Loved it. Okay, that is Kobe beef. And that was in a sit-down restaurant, like a lighthearted one, not fancy. And they bring you these trays with that little heating block. Can you hear the sizzle? And that's like one of my last bites. So the first ones, when you would put it on, whoo, sizzle, and it'd be done in seconds. It was fabulous. Amazing. The melt in your mouth texture is absolutely the truth. Just the truth. So again, you just get to cut it, grill each little edge to its little perfection. Okay, I managed to keep my mouth closed. My mother would be pleased. Okay, this was outside of Hiroshima. I can't remember the name of the island. I want to say it was Ima, something like that. At any rate, oysters.
Not bad.
Really massive oysters. Again, Kobe beef. Kobe beef, right on the street. Take any, I'm going to show you the sign in just a second. Take any of those numbers divided by 76 and that's what we were paying. It was not expensive for really fresh, good food. The attention to detail in the Japanese culture is everywhere. But boy, you can really see it in the food. They have a special relationship there with coffee and ice cream. Of course, a boba tea. I don't even know what that is. I can't tell you probably 70% of what I ate. It just looked great and it tasted amazing. And I was like, sure, let's try it. And the breads, very soft. They have a different process with their yeast. And this is this is sort of the Grand Central Station area in New York where everybody's there, everybody's walking. So that's it. That's a tiny little taste, just a tidbit of some of the foods that I experienced. I have several more coming up. I did go to a conveyor belt sushi place. We did have one very traditional meal. The hotel that we were in was Hakone, in Hakone, I think I'm saying that right, Hakone, and which is like, you can see Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji's right there. And they gave us robes to don and little shoes to wear, and the meal was very traditional. And it's actually also where I partook in the communal bathing. And I'll have a little video of that soon. So, all right, well, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe and take care.